What is up, everybody? We are back. It's 2017. We got the scoop today on Mariah Carey's performance fail and Janet Jackson gives birth to her son. All that and more on Black Hollywood Lives this week.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live this week.
Like this. You almost gotta watch this.
Hey.
Courtney, you're silly. Courtney,
Okay, we're just gonna.
Courtney, you're silly. Is that your impersonation of Mariah's performance at the New Year's? Wait, no, you have to be like, now carry me and flip me, please.
No, she says, "Oh, we're just gonna walk."
Oh, is this what we doing?
Wait, are you gonna carry me down the stairs?
Oh, my favorite part was this part.
Hello.
Right. Why don't you guys just sing? Oh, Mariah.
She should have stuck with that.
But no, she was like, fuck it.
All right, welcome to Black Hollywood Lives this week. I'm your host, Daryl Kristen, and I'm looking at the wrong camera, so I'm gonna look over here now.
It's over there.
You know, I haven't been here in a while. I haven't gone too long.
2 weeks gone and you don't know
2
what
weeks
to
gone,
do.
I don't know where the camera is. What's up, everybody? Well, I'm happy to be back.
I missed you guys last week.
I kind of missed you
Like
guys.
the first week, I was like, okay, bye. Last week, I was like, oh my god.
I kind of did miss you guys. I can't even lie.
Things were happening. I needed
Things
to
were
talk
happening.
to people.
But joining me today is Courtney Stewart,
What's up, y'all?
DJ Jesse J,
What's up?
and Rachel True, who was not with us for like two of the last shows.
I know.
2016.
It's been a month.
I know. I didn't know if you guys were going to start without me today, so I showed up on time.
Hey, we're happy to have you back. And we got some great topics today. You know, Jesse, you know, I really like the topics you picked for this week.
I thought these were great
you.
topics,
Except the
for
first
the.
one.
Except for the first one, we should.
But we have to talk about it
We
because
have
it's
to
just
talk
like
about
It's everywhere.
yes, because honestly, I didn't get to watch the ball drop with you guys, and last year
Nobody
I did.
invited me. Thank you. No, I'm,
Rachel,
I'm
you
a
wouldn't have come
hermit.
anyway.
You know I would have. I am a hermit. It's true.
But no, so I'm watching. Everyone's watching the Dick Clark. Actually, I wasn't, to be quite
wasn't
honest. I
either.
was drunk playing
Watching
Cards of
the Dick.
Humanity. Well, I was watching.
I like the romance.
So was I. It's weird.
But all of a sudden, I was on Instagram and I hear Mariah Carey had an issue. So of course, I had to go onto YouTube and watch this. So Mariah Carey, who is set to perform a medley, a little couple numbers of her greatest hits on every year. Dick Clark, they do the New Year's Rockin' Eve. It was about like a half hour before New Year's. Mariah came out. I was excited because it was my favorite. You know what I mean? She was
She
gonna
looked snatched, honey. She was sparkling and
She
nude.
did.
Had her
She looked
fur
good.
on. The feathers were rolling
She was
around.
everything.
She looks fantastic.
Her body looks great, by the way,
Yes.
right?
Oh yeah, her body was tight.
Yeah.
Her
She
body was
looked
tight.
great.
And she started to what I thought was singing, and the dancers were using their feathers, and it was just grand. And I was like, yes, Mariah, bring into. She had a great 2016. I feel she
Yeah.
was everywhere, right? The
Oh,
voice of
really?
Christmas.
Yeah.
She lost her fiance. And then tried
Yeah,
to
but she gained a
sue
new
him.
boo.
A
who's
new
on the
reality
reality
show.
show.
Wanted to lose him. Like she.
I'm stuck on the new boo on the red. We know that's not her boo for real. Come on, Jay. Come on.
That's not real. Okay, wait. We gotta let Jesse tell the
Yeah.
story.
Sorry,
then we'll-
continue.
So she doesn't sing. Basically, we all saw that everyone's blaming her for lip syncing. She wasn't lip syncing because there were no vocals on the track except for the high notes, which most singers do that.
You're outside in Times Square New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a track.
But she started blaming, saying that it was the production who was messed up the earphones. She had asked like 2 or 3 times. They had changed it out. It still wasn't working, but they guaranteed her as soon as she went on the stage that it would turn on. She went on the stage. You see her start to sing. She paused and she said,
I can't hear myself.
can't hear myself. And so she's going back and forth. She feels that Dick Clark Productions ruined her performance. So for ratings, they're saying that she's defaming them because as a production company, why would they, that's been running for how many years, why would they ever do that? Whenever there's been an issue in the past, they fixed it or they owned up to it. And now Mariah's over it. She says she's not embarrassed because she can sing. And my thing is this, Mariah, because this has happened to her, exact situation has happened to her before, and she just sang a different song. Like she was like, somebody's gonna get fired. Like she made this whole song up. So to me it was just like, you gave up. You gave up
She
because
was
you had to do the whole.
tired. 2016 been a long year. She was tired.
Where is everyone's cynicism? This is clearly a ploy to get ratings for her show. And you know what? I didn't watch this live, and then I heard about it after, and I actually didn't watch it because I was like, I don't care about the Schadenfreude of enjoying someone failing. I'm sure it was funny.
It was funny because she just said, okay, whatever. And she walked off. That's what really turned it out, is when she just walked off stage. I was like, girl.
And then they pushed her back out.
She was like, I don't know her, to herself.
Yeah, she was like,
But here's where I got a little confused, because she was saying she couldn't hear, right? But at one moment she was singing "We Belong Together" to the left, and she was.
But it was going in and out, I think, is the issue.
When you have an in-ear monitor, you've had those before, right? Like the singers use. If that's going in and out, it would actually be really freaky and frustrating.
Which is why it was funny.
And I can't stand the dancers, the people who are saying, well, the dancers were still dancing.
But they're not
being on
listening
stage.
down.
Like
they
they're
don't have
hearing
the
a
monitors.
beat. She needs to hear a pitch.
Right.
So for her, if she had sang that whole performance not hearing that, she could have sang the whole thing flat. Then we'd be making fun of her saying she can't sing. So she was just like, oh, I ain't giving this to y'all.
But wait, back to
It's like, I'm not doing it.
Back to the TV show thing. Wasn't it like 2 weeks ago where it was like, Mariah's afraid people think she's boring on her show. So what else? This makes it interesting.
Well, the show is boring, I must admit.
But
I haven't seen it since the first episode.
Agreed, it is a little boring, but this got a lot of people talking about it. Got a lot of people watching it.
She was the number one thing talked about on
New Year's.
social
Right,
media.
so I believe it was calculated.
Yeah.
That's what
I
I
wouldn't be
heard.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
Speaking of calculations, Kim Burrell is out here causing quite the stir. Where a video of a sermon in which she was talking about pastors in the church and homosexuality and how the act and the demon of homosexuality, if you have it, if you're sick and you have it, you are sinning. And this went viral, and the gays.
Who is she?
She's a huge gospel.
She's a big.
She's not peas. Oh, she's not. I thought she was a peas lady. Peas, tomatoes. I'm gonna keep up on my topics next week.
That's another one.
Wait, a piece of
That's
tomatoes?
another one.
Yeah, I was like, what?
No,
Shirley
nobody's
Caesar.
like ham,
Oh,
tomatoes,
Shirley
peas,
Caesar.
greens.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't make that leap.
I didn't either. I was like, wait, is there somebody sings about peas?
So
Carrots.
what?
not even high.
No,
Yeah, I'm saying that's how.
We're not eating peas and carrots. It's peas and greens.
Yeah.
So wait, she's a big. Everybody
She's a
knows.
huge-
She's huge.
She's
She's
a
huge.
big pastor.
Yeah,
Everybody doesn't, but people do. And, and apparently the gays support her and whatnot, love her, and she came out to say this.
Do you feel like you have a demon inside you?
Look, let me tell you, the only demon I heard was the anger that was coming off of that stage. I just questioned, girl, like, did you have a situation? It was really strong. Like, you know what? Because my thing is this. Like, I grew up in a household in which my parents didn't believe in it. And, you know what I mean? So it's like...
Didn't believe in
Homosexuality.
Gotcha.
And they had to learn, and they understand I'm not this demon spirit or this confused... I know a lot of straight people who are very confused, honey. You being one of them from some of the interviews I've seen of you that I had to go through the past couple days. But my thing is the anger that you had on that stage is where I have the issue. And now you went on Facebook, she went on this Facebook rant and talked about, I didn't say the LGBTQ community. Girl, yeah, you did. When you speak about homosexuality, you're speaking about a community of people. And you can target, you know what I mean, a preacher that specifically that you know what I mean. I understand that part of it, but you didn't. It was a blanket statement.
Well,
I understand that you were in your private church and everyone has a right to say whatever they want to say. But now it's come to light, girl, and now you got to deal with it. And don't go on social media talking about, I'm not using this as publicity. Clearly not, girl, with them eyelashes and the lace front that you was having on in that Facebook Live. Because I'm just like, clearly you must be upset with the gays because they ain't helping you, girl. Like,
Did her husband leave her for another man or something?
Honestly, that's where the anger...
When people come out that much, it's either like, I think you're a lesbian or your husband ran off with
Well, I don't think that. I think that. I mean,
much.
there's the bottom line is there is the faith group of the church.
Yeah.
Black church, especially. I mean, but not just because the white Christian church believes the same thing. That,
but it
is a sin.
I would say it's a little tougher than the black church with certain things.
Culturally speaking, whatever. She was in her own church with people that believe as she does, and in a country as we live in, called America, you are allowed to do and say what you believe, and you get to experience that and disseminate that however you want to. I do appreciate that. she was supposed to be on Ellen singing with Pharrell for the Hidden Figures thing, and Ellen was like, no, she's not going to come on. Those are the consequences of you. Obviously, you stand up. That's what you believe. That's what you believe. Cool. But that also has the consequence of what it was. So to sort of backtrack and be like, I'm not talking about the LGBT. Yes, you were.
Yeah, you
and
were.
if you stand for that, I'm not mad at you.
If that's what you stand for,
if that's what you stand for, that is your right. You were right.
But
Don't try
stand
to,
for it.
but
Yeah,
stand
don't
for it.
backtrack.
Don't
Yeah.
kind of try to play both sides and pretend like that's not what you were saying.
But like also, the spirit thing is just like, girl, like it's like this like oh my
But
god,
see, I
it's
feel like
taking over my
then you're
body.
trying
And,
to
like,
break down somebody's belief
I
system,
mean,
and that's
yeah.
not what we get to do. The same way that she shouldn't, like, if that's what she believes, that's
But
what
okay,
she's
but
saying.
you could say the same thing about skin color. Realistic.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, you can,
And that's,
theoretically. Yeah.
what people do. That is your God-given right, and we claim that we live in a free country that is free for religion. You get to say what you want to say, but the consequences are the point, and the consequences, I think, fit the crime, so to speak. She's not speaking on this. She's not singing on this show. People have come up against it, whatever. But I don't personally fault her for what she was saying on the pulpit because you get to do that.
Yeah.
I
Right.
personally may not support your church because of it.
Right.
But the people that were there support what she said.
Now, the only thing I wanted her to do, or I wanted Ellen to do, sort of, was to not cancel her from the show and have her interview her, because Ellen would have. I think Ellen would have.
Ellen's show, I don't
There's
think
too
is
much
the.
hate
I
in the
don't think
world right
Ellen
now.
shows a platform where she would actually have like a real conversation about that. Like I just
Okay.
don't
Do
think
any of you
Ellen
go
doesn't
to a
have those
church
interviews.
where
That's
the
true, that's
pastor or the reverend or whatever, whoever leads the church, says stuff like this? Do any of you go to church?
My priest is when I got my ears pierced. I walked up and was about to take communion. Said, "What do you want to be, a girl?"
Your priest said that?
Wow.
And
When you were a
your
kid.
ears getting
when I was
pierced?
when I was like 18, and I was like,
Interesting.
I'm pretty convinced that my Catholic priest was gay. If I
Growing up, you think?
now that I'm really looking back at it, I would probably guess that.
really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And now I go to a science of spirituality, so my
wait, like Scientology?
no.
I was like, wait, Daryl, I don't know if
that
I.
out there.
If I was a Scientologist, I wouldn't be in this studio right now. I would be at Will Smith's house or Tom Cruise's house. So.
Starting to Delphi
Just
School. I
kidding.
get it.
All right, well, let me know when your next meeting is. 'Cause
I know. Can I?
I wouldn't be right here. Let's just put it like that.
I'm wearing the Jesus Christ
Driving
on
in
there.
a car.
I'd be driving a different whip,
Yeah.
hanging out with a different crowd of people, maybe.
Thanks.
Well, surely not Kim Burrell.
No, and the reason I asked is
Definitely
because
not
I'm
Kim
curious what people today do. Because 20 years ago, this story would have never really gotten into the press. We wouldn't have known. She would have been on a talk show. It would have been fine. But now this stuff gets out really quickly. And I just wondered, I don't particularly go to a church, so I don't know. If I ran up against it, I would not go back to that church.
I'm not in a
probably.
church that supports homosexuality. Like they are
Yeah.
Christians that believe that homosexuality is a sin. Have I ever been in a situation where
They
the
were
venom that
preaching?
was coming off the pulpit was like that? Never in my life.
Gotcha.
It was just so angry.
It was
That's
very
just what
hostile.
it was hostile.
Very hostile.
You realize your church person from growing up, your Catholic priest is like crying. Oh my God, Daryl.
He's like, "You're not
oh my
talking
God, how did you do that to me?
I don't think anybody would be surprised. I'll just put it like that.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's all I got.
Wow.
And that's the end of the show,
You just
folks.
shut that down. That's it.
That's all we got for the
That's all
show
we
today,
got.
folks. We're just gonna go home. We're gonna call up Kim Burrell.
I feel like SVU. We gotta
Wait,
go
I love that
figure out
Mark
who.
played the exit music right now.
He's like, yeah, get
That was a good cue,
early.
Mark. I like that. That was good.
Oh, Kim, embrace the love.
All right, well, Courtney, what do you have for us today?
I have a more positive story.
I love this one.
I do
So
too,
there's
so.
a new show coming to Centric TV, and it is being produced by the amazing Tracy Edmonds, who's done lots of stuff in television and business for the last like 25 years. And it is called Queen Boss. And basically it's sort of like a take on Shark Tank, but it's a competition series where 18 young black, not young necessarily, sorry, I just threw that in, black female.
But they look young because they're black.
Yeah, Courtney, try to sell it. Try to sell it.
Yes. Black female entrepreneurs, there's 18 of them, and they're basically sort of in a competition to win $25,000 to support their new business. And
I'm gonna be honest, 25K, not that much
it's
money.
not
You guys
that much
could
money,
up that.
But
I could
it's
spend that
on
right now.
Centric.
Centric, girl.
It is on
First
Centric.
Okay.
And it is their
First
first
season.
season.
But 25K after tax taxes is like 15 grand.
Well,
and then you're like, oh,
15 grand
That's like
if
real
you're
world.
starting a business
It's a lot
in
of money.
Oklahoma is a
No.
good
Sure, yeah.
I'm like
seed
half
money.
kidding,
Yeah.
but not, because obviously
Yes.
25 grand is a lot
sure.
of money that if someone wants to give me, I would take.
There you
So-
go. If somebody want to give me 15,000, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying?
take it.
I'll take 5.
But basically,
five.
they're competing, obviously, to win the $25,000. It's an 8-episode series. They are going to be interacting with celebrity judges like Vanessa Simmons, Lauren Lake, Candy Burth. I don't know why that made me laugh, but she's a great business lady. Like,
She is.
She's
Yeah, she
done
got
great.
dildo.
I don't know, it's
Candy?
just-
Candy's.
Candy
yeah,
got stacks.
She owns her house.
mad
She
at her.
owns all her
It ain't
stuff.
gonna shut
All
down.
right.
Yes, Mickey Taylor and many, many others. So it's the first, chance for Centric to jump on it, because actually Black females are the highest, fastest growing entrepreneur group in this
Absolutely.
country right now. So go
Yes.
Centric for jumping in on
Look
that.
at Black Enterprise. They have a great, just like maybe 2 issues ago or so I saw. It was a great story on Black female
Yeah,
entrepreneurs.
Black women are the
And,
most,
where they're
becoming
at,
the
yeah.
most educated and the fastest growing entrepreneurial group in the country.
Go
So-
us.
Get it?
Yay, Black Girl Magic.
So hey, well listen, you could go in there and get your film financed or something. Get a new idea.
Well,
Well.
they're not really financing films, but
You never know. You go there and change some stuff up.
like make it happen. But anyway, maybe there will be more seasons, and perhaps we can all get.
I think that's a winning
Yeah.
show. I think that.
I
Could,
think it
I
is
think
good.
that
It's a
could
great
win.
idea.
That's a great idea. So good luck.
And sometimes I hate
And
the
it's-
idea of separate, right? Because,
Yes.
it's all black and separate. But yet I've watched enough Shark Tank to know we actually need this show.
Yeah, yeah.
The black women get turned. What did they call those two black women with the makeup company were on last year? And they called them, you guys are like colorful little cockroaches. And,
Or
I'm
like
not even
Damon
sure
saves them.
I'm not even sure what frame of reference that was, but no brown person wants to be called a cockroach. So I'm pretty sure that won't
No.
happen on this show.
Damn. Well,
That's
you guys
a true
But-
story.
support the show. It
Absolutely.
airs January 14th.
Now, really quick, how do you guys feel about it only catering to women as far as like the people
Love it.
who
Great, love
own the
it.
show?
And I think now nobody can get mad at them either, because they're like, well, we aren't including men either, so just black
Alright.
women.
Trump is in office. We need all the help we can get.
Kinda.
Moving on. So the next story is not. At first, I didn't think it was okay. To be all the way real, I was kind of like, no, that's not true. And then it sort of became a lesson in how media really differs and translates things not always exactly how they should be. So there's an article on a HuffPost that the headline was Denzel Washington doesn't think Hollywood has a colorism problem. And I laughed out loud like, I mean, how is that even possible? Because if we as a country have a colorism problem, of course there's a
Hollywood,
colorism
yeah.
problem in industry. Like that would make no sense. And for those of y'all who don't know, Denzel just came out with Fences. It's doing really well. And he's actually been on the media circuit dropping some gems.
He has.
Like
Yeah.
knowledge.
Because it's very
just-
much nominated for award season.
Yes,
as well.
but he's just been dropping a whole lot of
He
very
has.
interesting.
He's been very vocal.
Vocal knowledge
Yeah.
about being a parent, being a black man, and being people of color, and bringing all of August Wilson's work. Basically, he's bringing all of August Wilson's work
That's
to the
amazing.
screen. He is not going to be acting in all of it, but he will be producing all of it. So every single play that August Wilson wrote, he is going to put it on screen. But anyway, so this article, I was shocked, and I was like, okay, let me read whatever. So basically, the writer of the article said that by inserting sort of her own comments along with snippets of his comments from an interview that he actually did on BET, she basically made it seem like Denzel Washington said that basically dark-skinned actors are not talented enough and they need to work harder. And that literally what was communicated in that HuffPost article.
That sounds clickbaity a title,
But
by
I
the
was
way.
just,
Like, it doesn't even sound
and I
real.
definitely clicked on it. I was like,
Wait,
how?
repeat that one more time.
So basically, okay, I'll read. There was a quote that she made. She goes, the actor added that it isn't skin color, but acting ability that hinders darker actors from achieving success. And then she quoted him right after this saying, quote, the easiest thing to do is to blame someone else, the system. Yeah, there's a possibility maybe that you're not good enough. So that wasn't, the problem is that she used a part of a quote that he
Right,
made
yeah.
to support a statement
Another
that she
one,
had
yeah.
already said. So I was like,
Yeah.
there's no way Denzel said that
Right.
because I just been listening to everything that he's been doing and reading.
Right.
So I went to the original interview on BET, and the fuller comment, I think the spirit of his comment was much more different than what sort of got communicated in
It
that
typically
HuffPost
is.
article.
Yeah.
Is she black
And
or white?
I don't know if the
interviewer?
writer is black or white for the HuffPost article, but on BET, they basically asked him, colorism, does that hold dark-skinned actors and actresses back in show business? And the full quote from Denzel Washington was, one of the best roles for a woman of color and of any color in a good while, or at least in any movie that I've been in, a dark-skinned woman has, and it's in this film. So as long as you're being led by outside forces or just being reactionary, you won't move forward. You have to continue to get better. That doesn't say exactly what the HuffPost article was saying, and I think the spirit of the interview on BET goes on. You can check it out on BET Online. But I think the spirit of the interview was that I'm not going to focus on colorism because what is there is going to be there, but I just have to keep working and making it different.
Sure.
And it was interesting because it could easily be like, dang, Denzel, like what? No. But then when you go back to the actual source, it's different. So you guys got to really.
And the actual source was like Lee Daniels, right?
Critically.
Well, we're gonna get to Lee a little bit later. But it's funny. Over the break, I was having a conversation at a little dinner party with some friends who were working film and are executives, and they were telling me that within the industry, a lot of the black executives feel that there is not a separation of color versus white. It's all about the color of green. They say that white filmmakers and white executives, if they see something's green, a project's being supported by black people or Latinos or people of color, that's all they care about.
Yeah.
So it's,
but they're negating.
We don't necessarily have not supported all of our films, I'll say that.
That is true. I think that over time we've seen that we don't necessarily, like TV dramas versus comedies, like we don't necessarily, but I don't necessarily know if that's an American thing or just a black thing, but black people generally, we've seemed to have supported the comedies more than the television dramas that represent us. But at the same time, with that comment, they're speaking on a level once the film is at studio level getting made.
That's true.
Like,
Getting it greenlit.
To get,
Getting greenlit was almost impossible.
Exactly.
A black project before very recently.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously seemingly things are changing and it's great and it's amazing and all of that. But to pretend like that didn't exist or doesn't still exist,
it's changing, like your friend said, because they're like, wait, that made money.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
It's definitely being looked
somebody
at
greenlit that
in a different way. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah.
Yeah, and Rachel, you are the icon in this industry.
Hardly. I wish I would not be here, would I? I'd be with you at the Scientology club.
With my Scientology folks.
And we'd have Leah Remedy sitting here hosting the show.
Saying they really believe.
No, but I mean things have absolutely.
And my Audi would be an Aston Martin. Yeah, it'd be a different A.
Exponentially though, and maybe I've said it before, but like I like that, like for example, Zendaya can speak out and say, my publicist said I should just be grateful because I'm a black girl and I should blah 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 and F that, and I fired her. Back in my day, or when I was her age, or pretending to be her age, I was told the exact same thing, but and sit out, And in every post or every movie I've been in where I was like an equal part, I was always the brown one in the way back. And even the photographer one day, Greg Gorman, was like, "Why are you always in the back?" And I said, "Because I'm black, right? But you're light to me at least." So things have really shifted. In fact, on like The Craft, for example, we had a big publicity junket I was not invited on. That would not happen today because I was one of the 4 main girls. I wasn't like an ancillary character. So they just wouldn't do that anymore. Right. Or I would go on and talk about it.
Yeah, you would go to social media now.
I would. But I'm glad stuff like that has changed because I've always said this, white actors and actresses benefit from, like, let's say the studio system, but they make stars. There's a star system.
Right.
Black people, not so much. That's beginning to change. But you can name 10, 20 little white starlets. It's harder to name 10, 20 little black starlets. So that is changing, and I think that's great. We should be... Yeah, we should be making all the same, we should have the same advantages as far as advertising deals and all those different things, especially the young kids, So.
Well, we'll see what happens.
In Trump's America.
In Trump's America, right. All right, we're going to move over to our ER Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
Spotlight of the week.
Well, we have been talking about this for 9 months at least.
It feels like a year. Can we be
It feels
real?
like 2 years.
Because wasn't she going on tour in the spring, and then she announced it in like April, and we was like,
well, technically, I think it was May, right?
Was it May
That's when
that
she
she
stopped
did that
the
video?
tour. Yeah. It was around
Okay.
April, May in that period. We can just count backwards, I
feel like
guess.
you
but-
was pregnant for.
When she came out with that album, I was just like, what?
Like it's been 2 years.
Well, if you don't know what we're talking about, we're
Let me
talking
know
about
when the
Miss
baby
Jackson,
comes.
if you nasty. Janet Jackson, 50 years of age, gave birth to her first child allegedly. Outside of the one that's 30 that lives with Rebe. No, I'm kidding. Let me not
Allegedly,
start
like
that
she
rumor.
carried this baby or not, or like the other secret baby.
Allegedly
She
that
definitely
it's her
carried
first
it.
baby. She
Oh, yeah,
definitely
she
carried it.
was,
She was
She
walking
carried it.
around with that watermelon.
She
That
didn't
wasn't
carry
even
it.
Beyonce
She carried
pulls in
it.
this
one.
She
Yeah,
carried it. No, I'm kidding. Congratulations, Janet. She had a baby boy on Tuesday. His name is Asa Almana. And she welcomed him stress-free, healthy delivery. They said that it was an easy birth for her, and I can't wait to see the pictures of the kids.
Congratulations, lady.
And she's supposed to be going on, allegedly, supposed to be starting the tour again.
Oh, stop,
so.
girl, just sit
Girl,
down.
sit down.
You
Enjoy
know
your
what I mean?
baby.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure
50.
she'll wait some months.
But that's what you can do when you got help.
you got a lot
Yeah,
of
I mean,
help.
you can't have a baby at 50 without some help
Exactly.
too.
But see,
so,
that's-
but
They
great,
gonna-
good for her.
They gonna sew it back together right. She got the help to carry the baby around. She got another kid to feed the baby.
'cause
Like
wouldn't-
she just got it all.
Wouldn't you be shocked if that wasn't like in vitro or something? So it has to be something.
There's no
if-
way it wasn't in vitro.
I don't know. I'm really naive. I'm like maybe.
I mean,
but
scientifically, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Do you think she wanted to have a kid, or it was
Yes.
because really, like, she personally wanted it, or is it because she's in this marriage now?
she wants that
I think
shave
it was
money.
both. I think it was both.
I
He needed an heir.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I bet that was part of their sort of like, okay, we about to marry. Okay, you gotta do this.
Yeah.
And she probably
Lord.
partially wanted one. You know, I can't imagine
'Cause I'm
she
like,
wanted
for
to be
you-
pregnant at 50.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
No.
here you are at 50 years old, right? Like, and this is supposedly your first child. I would think, like, you wouldn't be like, oh my, like, this would be a huge thing, and it's like, I'm gonna take a year off and really spend time with my child and nurture, versus, all right, well, good thing we finished that. Now, what we got next on the tour?
Some people
Let's break
really-
out these hits.
Some people
Yeah.
really want to carry their own babies. You know what I mean? So there
That's
is a
true.
good chance that she did want all of that because she
Yeah.
easily could have gotten a
she-
surrogate
Yeah,
and blah,
easily,
blah, blah.
easily.
And she might have been like super in love.
She could have
Like,
adopted,
baby.
you
No,
know.
I don't know with her man, because they're very, like,
No, I don't think they would have
cultural.
adopted. I think that he wanted a blood
His own
heir.
baby, yeah.
Yeah,
better-
because
you better
he's
figure a
a
way.
heir. Like he's like
He's a
king
sheik,
or
isn't
something.
he?
Like,
Yeah.
That's
wanted
what
an
I
heir.
was.
He's got some moolah.
Yes, sir.
It wasn't
And
no,
what is he?
let's grab an egg from somebody and grab
He's what,
some
like
of those
10 to
sperms.
15 years younger than her or something like that?
Yes,
Courtney,
So-
how can we find a shake?
Janet, we need some instructions, girl.
Let's go to Dubai.
I'm not
Yeah,
kidding,
and
by the way.
I'll have a baby for you too. Okay?
Right.
Because there's no real part of me that wants to birth a baby, but I will birth a baby for you.
I would, even at this
You said for a
advanced
check?
age.
Damn, you just went straight for the check.
You know you can sell your eggs for like $7,000.
No. Do you know the process to get your eggs out
I
of
don't.
you?
I just know that
$7,000
it's
I
$7,000.
did
Wait,
think
what
about
did you
it
say?
in
Get the eggs
college.
where? Get
I
it-
did think about it in college because they had an advertisement,
Freeze
$2,000 for your eggs
Yeah.
to get, because you can
only
donate
do a certain
eggs.
amount.
I never considered that because I saw the stats and it was like white eggs get this much, and but I was like,
Yeah.
F off.
And it's, but
you
it's
know what?
painful, and it's like a whole
is it?
like you
How
have to inject yourself with all kind of hormones to get your eggs to pop up and ovulate. I'm like trying to find the word ovulate them and pull them out, and then they gotta suck them out. Like it's a whole thing. I have
wow.
a friend that's being a surrogate right now, and it's a whole thing.
I don't. Yeah, no, not for me. But sidebar really quickly to my boyfriend, who is not a she, gave me for my birthday a 23andMe DNA kit. So I'm kind of curious. Like I'm gonna
A
get
23andMe?
Those are the DNA thing where it
Yeah,
breaks
breaks down,
down.
like,
You
exactly
also
where you're
paid
from.
extra so I can see what diseases I'm gonna die of. So that's fun.
Wait, what?
Wow,
You know,
okay.
it tells you what genes you're carrying.
Oh,
Yes.
your, and
So
like,
that way
like
you
your
can-
blood type and all that stuff.
Not just your blood
Not
type,
just-
but it's
yeah,
your
but, like,
DNA.
congenital-
It
yeah.
literally is like, oh, you have a defective gene for this, and you have a really high chance of getting this.
yeah.
Oh, okay,
So now
'cause, like,
you
there
know
was
how to
another
treat those
test that's
Yeah.
out there that shows you what foods you really should
I
eat
have
for your
that
blood
one
type.
already.
Wait, what? Write these
Eat
down
right
for
for
me.
your blood type.
Yeah,
want
no.
those.
There's a whole bunch
Ask
of
your
that.
doctor about it because they're starting to do it more and more, and they're covering it with insurance. But
Yeah.
I had a test done to see genetically food-wise, and it was like, yeah, girl, you can't have no fat, you can have vegetables and lean protein. That's literally, I was like, I know. Or
You're like, I didn't
or
need
I
to
get
test for that.
these. No, literally, it was like you can't have anything. And I have, no, but it's true. And I have a gene that says, oh, you have a gene that says you don't feel full. I'm like, bitch, I know.
I ain't need no test for that.
That's right, but it's true. When I was a
My
little
life.
kid, I was always like, I'm still so hungry, y'all. So
Now you know.
So I think those tests are kind of helpful. I'm curious about this one just to see what the genetic breakdown is, and I'm less
Yeah.
curious about the diseases I'll die of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Check it out. You guys can find out all that information about yourself and your blood type and your food type and
You
all
gonna
that fun
post
stuff.
all your information
Your
on
egg
Instagram
type,
so we
everything.
know?
I mean, I just do the quizzes on Facebook.
I'm still working on my heritage test. You know, like to go back and find out all that.
That's what
Yeah,
this
that's
does.
what it is, too.
Oh, that's what it is, too.
It's not
literally what
just-
this
yeah.
does. It'll
Okay.
tell me like what I'm probably part Ghanaian because that's where everyone in America is. The Ivory Coast. Usually that's where most of the people were taken from who were slaves. So I'm sure I'll have a percentage of that,
Yes.
and it'll break down the whole like ethnicity theoretically.
Percentage-wise,
Yeah.
All right. And,
And
what's it
by
called
the
again?
way,
What's it called again? So people
That's
know.
called 23andMe. Ancestry.com has its own test, and I've been looking on YouTube at people's, I got my results back, and all the black people are like, I don't understand. Everybody told me, my mama told me I had Native American, but I don't have none.
Yeah.
Every single black person.
They
Native
did that.
Americans.
Yeah,
They
what was
did
it?
that whole study that said only like 0.5 or 0.3% of Black
Right.
Americans ever even met and interacted with Native Americans.
Right.
So the portion of the population that has that Native American is so small.
small. Yeah, no, and I'm curious. I have the same story in my family. My grandmother had who was on the reservation, but we'll see. It'll probably be like none. So, I'm curious about the different genetic makeups.
Well, let us know if you guys do some testing. You tweet us and let us know what you
I'm gonna do mine
find out
one
about
day.
yourself. I'm gonna do mine. We should do it as a group.
You should.
That would be
I
fun.
think
It'll
it's
be fun.
interesting because
Like
if you're
our fast last
if you're
year.
an African American in this country, you don't
Let's
know
get 'em to
what
sponsor
country, you
us.
don't know where, at
Nothing,
least
you
a
know
little
nothing,
basis.
yeah.
And when I was over in South Africa and Botswana and Zimbabwe, I didn't see nobody who looked like me. And I kept looking. So I would love to, what? I would love to know. So anyway, moving on to the
All right,
next
moving on to
topic.
our last story of the day. This kind of goes back to a little bit of what we thought allegedly Denzel Washington was saying earlier. But Mr. Lee Daniels, who is no quiet person in terms of how he feels about different opinions about things, especially the entertainment business. He was recently interviewed by the New York Times, and he had a lot to say about people of color. And Lighty's getting a little bit of slack because he basically was giving advice to actors of color because the reporter had asked him about Oscars So White, because obviously we are approaching award season again. The Oscars are just around the corner. We have seen films nominated this year like Moonlight, Hidden Figures, and so on, Fences. So I think the reporter was trying to get to the point of saying, are things changing, do you think, because of the fact that last year was all this controversy surrounding films not being nominated, and this year it seems to be a little bit more variety of films and TV shows that are being kind of looked at. So Mr. Lee Daniels had this to say up to upcoming actors or just actors in general of color. He said, "Go out and do the work," was his exact quote. And here I'll quote a little bit more of that. He said, "Oscars so white, so what? Do your work, let your legacy speak, and stop complaining. Are we really in this for the awards? If I had thought that way, that the world was against me, I wouldn't be here now. There are whiny people that I think these whiny people that think we're owed something are incomprehensible to me. I don't expect acknowledgement or acceptance from the white America. I'm gonna be me." Now we obviously know that Daniels had directed The Butler. He was snubbed by the Golden Globes and the Oscars for The Butler, but he did win earlier for his film Precious, which got 2 Academy Awards out of 6. Now, what do you guys feel about his statement of go do the work and, basically not really complaining about things that have happened in the past?
Courtney?
I see it in your eyes. I
I'm
see it in
looking
your
at
eyes.
Courtney.
Look, I think this, once again, the spirit of what he is saying is accurate. You don't if you're in it for real, you're not in it for the awards. You're in it because you believe in the work and you want to do the work and that's what you love and you do it. So I get that, but to qualify that, you're already sitting on 2 Academy Awards or whatever it is, and then so the communication of what you're saying does not necessarily come off as positive, maybe as it should. So I'm not offended by his quote. I'm more offended by him saying that him casting the white girl in Star was gonna be reconciliation for the nation.
Yeah.
So this
And
quote
then
to me is like,
watching it,
okay,
and
I
then
get it.
watching
Yeah,
the
Here's
show.
the thing, I
another
would
whole
love
thing.
to work with him because he's super talented.
Yes.
But definitely he's having a moment right now. He's feeling himself, which he deserves to with all these Oscar awards, and he is fabulous. But I do think it sounds like he's maybe forgotten
Yeah,
what it was like
before
10 to
that.
15 years ago for him.
Yeah.
But I agree with his point, we don't, whining about it doesn't really solve anything. He's saying go out and create your art and see if you can
Yeah.
get attention that way.
But people
That
have been
actually.
creating.
But yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
here's my thing. Are we really whining though? I don't really hear people whining.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
feel-
people are trying to create. I know a ton of actors and producers who are trying to get projects greenlit, and they're
was
not
the wrong
whining about it.
choice of words.
That's my
But they're just
issue with this
acknowledging
comment.
the fact that historically, we have had a problem with.
But the fact
we're
that
not
he uses the word whiny
The
shows
whiny,
the place where
yes.
he is.
We're
mentally
also not all
in his
endorsed
work.
by Oprah and ...
Right.
things that make
But
the
that's where the
path
word
a lot
whiny
clearer.
comes
And
from. Right.
granted, like Oprah forged her own path, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's very helpful if you have people like that on your side and the doors fly open. And so I believe what happens in this town is and it happens to everybody on all different levels. Like maybe you're really hungry when you first start, and then you get comfortable, and then you kind of forget what that was like when you were literally grinding for your dinner. You know what I mean? This is someone who's not grinding for daily food or to pay their car note anymore. So it can get a little lost. The
Perspective
struggle.
gets a little changed.
Yeah.
Which is why we give him a pass.
But he is getting a little
the
bit of
whiny
backlash
thing,
for
yeah,
that
If he,
statement.
here's the thing, if he goes at it much harder, it's like, thank you, that's very Bill Cosby of you. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to tip into that, where Bill was like, pull up your pants and all that stuff that, like, you pull up your pants, old man.
Right.
Stop pulling
But
them
we
down.
didn't know, Bill. Damn.
Well,
Some of us did.
Damn it, Bill. But y'all didn't say nothing for real.
well, obviously he's had a huge
Loud
success
enough.
with Empire and Star, so he's.
Is Star doing well? Are y'all watching Star?
But they had one episode.
No, they've had 3.
No, there's like 3.
What?
They've had 3 because
I-
I've watched
No,
them
you
because I
guys.
said I try not to be. Oh,
Yeah.
honey, there have been at least 3.
I almost
there's-
watched it
there's
for the
at least
Lenny
2 or 3.
Kravitz of it all,
I
because
did.
that is a good-looking man.
I love
people,
Lenny
right?
Kravitz, and I was like, I'm not gonna judge this just because everybody's like, why that white girl in Lee Road? I was like, I'm gonna watch
Oh,
this and be
I don't-
cute.
yeah.
I watched it.
And okay, so
I
what does
will
that mean?
keep watching it.
Okay, so
I don't
it
care
caught
about
your
girls.
attention.
I don't care about girl singing groups, so it's not for me.
It's
you
cheesy
know?
to me. It's very cheesy.
I
But,
can't
you know,
get into it. I watched the first episode.
I'll
You
watch
couldn't
Lenny
do it.
Kravitz repeatedly.
I thought it was cute. I'll watch it instead of
Because he had his
Empire
shirt
now
off on the
because
last
it has like the
episode.
first season of Empire.
I actually thought the first season of Empire was better, but we're
mean,
not doing a review show.
Yeah,
I think it'll.
And Naomi Campbell's playing a drunk mom.
Is she fabulous?
She's actually doing well. I
Yeah.
liked what she did this week.
Yeah.
I watched it before I came here because it was like on my Hulu commercial break, and I was like, oh, there's an episode. Okay, let me watch this. I watched
That's what it was. They took that long ass break.
No, this is so off topic. But if you want an interesting show, try like Chewing Gum on Netflix. That's a British
I love
show.
Chewing Gum. It's so
Yeah,
good.
What is
the
that
black
about?
girl
Okay, I like
lead.
it.
What's it
I'm
about?
not
So people know.
Fair
What's it
enough.
about? What's it about?
Courtney, you can describe
Just
it.
like a weird, quirky black girl in Britain, like, and
Yeah.
they're doing like she's trying to have sex for the
It's a fast-paced
It's
show. She
fast.
She's in a religious family,
Family,
and
it's
she's just trying to get laid.
She's just trying to get some
So-
sex, and it's just funny. Like, I'm sorry, I think it's.
I thought it was, I thought it was
think
really
it's funny.
entertaining. So I'm more apt to watch something like that than I am a girl group, you know. But again, I think that Lee Daniels, in the end, like I have a feeling he's going to come back around and maybe.
I want to
Have a
see
little bit
more.
more comment about
Yeah,
it.
I think
Talk
so.
a little
don't
bit
you?
more. Yeah,
Because you,
probably.
as a person of, come on, what do you think about that? Actually, we all want to work with him, so we're treading lightly.
Listen, Lee. No, I mean it's kind of what I just said. I feel like I didn't really feel that the black community has been complaining about things. I think that we've just acknowledged the fact of how things were historically with the Oscars and
Bringing
just
light to
and
stuff
bringing
versus
light to stuff.
whining is
Yeah,
different.
Right.
those are two different things.
Yeah.
You know,
The
so
woman who created this
maybe
hashtag,
it's just
Oscars
a
so
wrong choice of
white,
word for him.
April.
I don't remember.
I forget her name. I think her hashtag is Reign of April, but I could be totally wrong about that. But anyway, I thought she did a great thing. She brought attention. It revamped They invited how many more black people or ethnic people
To the Academy.
voting? So
Yeah.
obviously that hashtag and the work that done. And I'm the first one to make fun of like hashtag activism, to be honest. But I see how like especially in this case it actually worked and was utilized. So.
Yeah.
I believe that was a great thing to have Oscars so
Yeah,
white.
and
Oscars
then-
not
and
so
then
white
when
this
he,
year,
you
thank
know,
God.
And maybe this quote was taken out of context, but when he used the fact that people think that they're owed something, I've never really got the impression once again that the African American community thought that they were owed
Besides
something. They
our
just
40
wanted to
acres and a
talk
mule,
about
Which we never got.
And here's
we
the thing,
still
I
ain't
know
got it.
people-
So how do we think we are owed anything?
Yeah.
I know.
We've been pressing for it regardless.
People are like, let go of that, let go of that. But again, I stand by if we had been property owners, the structure of this country would be completely different. My white
That's
friends,
why
the
we
wealth,
weren't.
the wealth of America is hands down. Sure, there's that 1% that's super rich, not counting them. The middle class wealth was passed through real estate. Bam, done. So we did not have that same opportunity. If we had
That was
land,
a part of the plan.
I know-
That's why
I know.
Reconstruction ended and they took over and they weren't giving nobody no mule. That's why they
Right.
ain't interested in no reparations because that is the plan.
because it's not so much the mule, it's the land.
It's the land. It's the land.
You can keep the mule.
And we gonna,
Well, no, the mule was needed then.
To plow the land.
To
I
plow
get
the
it. I
land.
get it.
I was gonna say a car.
I got it.
Like
But
a
right
car and some land.
Now it would be education.
And again, I wanted, like, I'd be on a soapbox about this, but then
And
I remember
property.
our Native American brothers and sisters, and it's like,
child.
no,
You
we don't
took
want
their
the
land.
shit land,
Yeah.
and then you find out there's oil underneath that land,
Now
and you
we
want to
want
take it
it.
back.
Now you want it, right?
So,
That's true. That's true.
It's all the American dream.
By the way, I think this week coming up is going to be really interesting because, you know, they're already talking about getting rid of, you know, Obamacare and cutting funds to Planned Parenthood and doing all these things. So if you're not normally keeping up on the news, just try to, because it's super important. A lot of rights could be taken away from people in the next couple months. So I really urge you to open your eyes
And
to
given
what's
to
happening.
other people like Omarosa.
And don't just watch HuffPo. Like, don't just listen to HuffPo. Like, actually try to dig in and find some real news on the subject. Not that HuffPo isn't, but as you saw, they're not against clickbaity stuff. So.
No, they're
No, that's
not. It's for entertainment purposes.
All right, guys,
often.
that's all we got today. So, where can
We
fans
have no
find
more.
you, Courtney?
You can find me everywhere at Stuart Starlet, but I have to jump on that real quick. We just saw a major change happen when they were voting, trying to change the ethics committee in Congress, that our voices still matter, guys. And I know everybody's on their Trump. I don't want Trump. I don't want this, whatever. But citizens, you can say things. You can speak up. And now is not the time to be silent. You need to get louder.
Yeah.
Inauguration is in 2 weeks.
Very
so.
much so. Thanks.
So, where can fans find you?
DJ Jesse J.
Everywhere, right? I'm at Rachel True on Twitter
Google
and
me.
at
Google
True,
Google me, bitch.
at True Rachel True on Instagram.
Google her.
Courtney, did you actually say where people can find you?
Did I say? I said at
Oh, you
Stuart
did.
Starlet.
Oh, okay,
I said
I
it
missed that
first,
part.
and then I
Okay.
said I have to say that.
Sorry, you said-
But
you said
again,
Trump and
at
it threw
Stuart
me off.
Starlet. At Stuart Starlet. I'm everywhere because somebody else got my name, like 12 other white girls.
I'm just gonna interject and say, everybody who keeps tweeting me or Instagramming me my age, I know.
She's like, I know how old I am.
I'm so
Wait, like,
aware.
because they want
Is it just the
Kool-Aid.
number that they just
Yeah,
tweet
but
and
like
number?
always the
It's
number,
'cause
the
they're
number,
shocked.
the number.
And what
I
are they
get
saying,
it.
that you're denying your age?
Everybody
No,
wants
but
her
they
Kool-Aid.
keep
They tweet
telling-
me asking about her Kool-Aid.
No, but they keep telling me my age, and I'm like, I know. I
You're
know.
like, listen to the show. She talks about it every week.
That's right. That's right.
It's just because you look like a supermodel.
That's right. It's because you still got them
A
good
sweat, a
genes.
hot, sweaty one.
You're
I'm
doing
proud.
something right.
Are
You're
we
doing something
done?
right.
Because I'm
All
covered
right.
in sweat
You can find
right
me
now.
at Daryl Christian on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And shout out to Variety D in London. We're going to be talking to you soon about doing some things. We're going to be international really soon with this week as well. So.
Yes.
All right. Have a great weekend. The Golden Globes are on Sunday. We'll see who wins.
Check us out, BHL Fashion 411 Monday night. We're going to talk about the clothes.
Oh, that show is back.
It's back.
See you soon.
Bye.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Christian, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.